I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning, everyone.
Good morning. All right. I'll make a motion the Board of Commissioners suspend the June 27th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Okay, we will recess and have public hearing. Present also are Library Director Jonathan Harris and Fiscal Officer Christina Fabian. Public notice hearing was being held today. It's a hearing for the public regarding the Portage County Library District proposal fiscal year 2025 tax budget. The tax budget has been on display in Portage County's office, Commissioner's office, and the District Library Office and Portage County Auditor's Office of public viewing since June 17, 2024. Notice of the public hearing was published on June 13, 2024 in the Record Courier newspaper. So we will have comments. Which one do you go? Who's talking first? Could you come forward, please?
Ladies first.
Yep.
We don't have to swear them in.
They didn't do that?
Yeah.
Okay, and we missed something, so while you're sitting there, I'm gonna have you raise your right hand. And I swear that testimony I'm about to give is the best of my knowledge, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Got it.
You got it? All right, thank you. All right, who's up?
So that would be
Yep.
I. Hi, Kristen.
morning.
So the tax budget before you is pretty much year over year. We kind of stay in line with the distributions that we receive from our tax levy, coupled with the PLF distribution and patron fines and fees contributions and other avenues of revenue. We don't really deviate very far year over year. It's kind of within the 6 to 8 range, depending. So we pretty much know where we fall when we're streamlining our appropriations. We look at our prior year, look at the expenditures, kind of keep an eye on things in terms of inflation, where we see costs rising, make adjustments, and then we also take into account any projects that we have coming down the line and make adjustments such as personnel costs. We've opened our 6th branch, so we've obviously had to make adjustments to utility costs. We now have a bookmobile, so there will obviously be adjustments made. Yes, we do. It hasn't floated around the county yet, but it will make its appropriate debut, I'm sure, very soon.
Where is it being stored at?
Funny you mentioned that.
Backyard?
Well, currently,
Kind of.
yeah, kind of. Currently, it's behind the administrative area off the Garrettsville branch.
Because I thought, I don't know, I was out there, I thought I saw it, and I'm like, maybe it was another bookmobile. or
Yeah,
another- But that's why I asked.
Yeah,
Because I thought it when I was out in Garrettsville.
We had it out at Touch a Truck event over in Brimfield a little while ago, just to
There
get it
we
out on the
go.
road. And I've got to say, taking a little detour around the southern side of Ravenna, I may have taken the train tracks on Lake a little bit faster than I should have. But I didn't get stuck under the bridge. So,
That's good.
But yeah, it's living over in Garrettsville right now.
Ah.
You flattened the tires?
No, just tested the shocks.
Okay.
Just testing. So yeah, so we've been spending those dollars appropriately. We've expanded our resources. We continue to do great things. Projects on the horizon, obviously making a permanent home for that bookmobile, and we're kind of in the beginning talks of maybe a collaboration with the village to have a garage where we can store it from the elements. And apart from that, we're just kind of taking it a month at a time.
So I wanted to ask you about the taxes, because it looks like the state income tax is decreasing.
Yes.
Why is that?
They're claiming it was I believe an estimation on, personal tax refunds. I believe that's what it was. They didn't, either it was too much was refunded back to the people or not enough. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had something to do with personal tax. And they're claiming that was the, that's what's caused the PLF distribution to
decrease, 'cause I'm like,
decrease.
what?
Mhm.
With
Oh.
the wages going up and stuff, why was the income tax?
Talking about taxes, I joke.
Yeah.
He was
That's
like-
okay.
I get it. You need
I mean, there
Yeah, I get
there was, you know, some tax reform last year at the state level as far as income taxes go. And, you know, one of the things that came up, I think the governor made a remark on, well, if you're going to lower taxes, then you're gonna have less money.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm. Mhm.
So we're fortunate that we have the tax levy to lean back on.
Yeah.
But we were PLF dependent for the majority of our existence up until just a few years ago, and there are a lot of libraries that still are. So it doesn't seem, the percentage that they're claiming doesn't seem like a very large one, but when you get into how their revenue streams
Yeah.
come down, it's a huge impact. So, but we're very fortunate that we are safe.
They need
in
to
our current
increase their
position.
late fees.
I mean,
Just turn the books
something-
in late. I see that's a big revenue source.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Okay, Jonathan,
Yes.
question for you.
okay.
Can you explain to the public so they don't think you're double dipping the difference between the Portage Library Consortium as opposed to the Portage County District Library?
Absolutely. So the Portage Library Consortium is an organization that is made up of Portage County District Library, Reed Memorial Library, and Kent Free Library. We all work together, and that system, or that group, is what is responsible for the automation software, so the catalog that we share.
Yeah.
As well as things that are shared costs between all three libraries. The Portage Library Consortium, the way that it works out is that the consortium itself gets a share of the public library fund revenue that goes to the county. So certain things like our catalog don't come directly out of our own budgets. That's something
Because
that
it's
the
coming
consortium
from the
handles.
consortium. Or, yeah, right, consortium?
Yeah. Mhm.
So the consortium is Reed and Kent?
Reed, Kent, and PCDL. We all work together and share things
Okay.
back and forth.
All right, cause, so like the libraries that don't fall under the, consortium, that's like the Garrettsville, the Brumfield.
No,
does
so
Garrettsville fall?
they are all part of PCDL.
Okay,
So the consortium is basically every single library in the county
county, okay,
working together.
very good, thank you.
Anything else? Are there any public comment? Hearing no public comment, we will reconvene as Portage County regular meeting.
Do we have to vote adjournment of the vote?
I just said we adjourned it.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if we had to vote, okay.
Do we have to
Yes.
vote? Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes,
Mike,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes, we will reconvene as Board of Commissioners regular meeting.
and I will make a motion to approve the Portage County Consortium's tax budget for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
I think this one's
This
district
one,
library.
Roll call.
this one was PCTL.
That was, the next one is the
The
consortium.
next one is the consortium.
Okay, all right, let me get back to this one. I flipped my stuff around, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the Portage County District Library's tax budget for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes?
Mike,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes. All right, Board of Commissioners will recess to public hearing. Present are the Director, Jonathan Harris, Fiscal Officer, Christine Fabian. The public notice of this hearing is being held today for public comment regarding Portage Library Consortium proposal fiscal year 2025 tax budget. The tax budget has been on display in Portage County Commissioner's Office the District Library Office and Portage County Auditor's Office for public viewing since June 17, 2024. The notice of the public hearing was published on June 13, 2024 in Record Courier newspaper. And good morning.
Good
again.
morning. Hello. So the revenue that we get for the consortium is really, it's primarily made up of PLF distribution, and our budget is about $380,000 a year.
For the consortium?
Yes. Our expenses really don't deviate from the one clerk that we have, that is the sole employee of the consortium. And then, all of the resource sharing, technology, the ILS system, everything that we have in terms of contracts for cataloging is paid through the consortium, and it covers each library, Reed, Kent, and PCDL, and every PCDL branch. And so there's really not year over year much change as far as what our expenses are. There hasn't been really a change in how the consortium operates in quite some time. So all of our expenses and our revenue stream are exactly the same year over year. So there's really not too much. Our carryover is approximately 100,000. There was a larger amount that had built up because the PLF had been doing so good, and there was an over distribution, and they had underestimated distribution for a couple of cycles, and that allowed us to build up quite a bit in terms of carryover. So we did reinvest that back into Star Ohio under the consortium's name, but we're pretty much, it's a kind of a bare bones operating scenario.
Are there any public comments or any questions? Hearing none, we'll adjourn public hearing, and we'll reconvene as commissioners' regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us. Have a wonderful
Have
Fourth.
a great day.
Nice to see you, Jonathan.
No war. Always
Bye,
good to see you.
Kristen.
Bye-bye, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. I'll make a motion to approve the Portage Library Consortium's tax budget for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Morning, Jackie. Morning. How are you this morning?
All right, how are you doing?
Good. Everybody got blue today?
Yeah,
Sabrina.
Yeah.
we're twinning.
We're all
Yeah,
ready.
that's just blue. All right.
Okay, so most of what I've got here today on my agenda is just the normal things. I just wanted to note that resolution number 3 is a transfer from the general fund to the Marine Patrol grant. But this is coming from the sheriff's office budget. We've been, asking departments if they're planning for a local match for a grant to plan for it in their budget. So this is coming from their budget. It's $8,946. So
Okay.
that's it.
All right. In accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code and this board's resolution 21-0396 and this board's resolution 21-0878, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval too. I'll make a motion to direct the auditor's office to process the June 27th, 2024 bills, ACH payments, wires, journal, vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to process the June 27th, 2024 budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 0001, General Fund, to Fund 1410, Public Assistance Fund.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion for a cash advance from Fund 5400 PCW General Administration Fund to 5510 PCW Manaway EM H2O Interconnect.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 0001, General Fund to Fund 1102, Marine Patrol Grant.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Boy, that was a quick and easy one. Shannon, good morning.
Morning. I'm easy too, see? I don't really have that much. I only
That's
have a
kinda-
couple little
kinda
things.
scary.
Imagine that.
Who paid you? Sabrina?
Maybe, just
Be
a
gone with
little
you.
bit. Okay, I just have 2 project updates. Since I was just here not that long ago.
Where are you?
Couple days
A couple
ago.
days ago.
When was that?
Did you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I hear elevator 1 is maybe coming close to.
It's coming close. Now, they're not gonna have any of the interiors of the elevator done when they put it back in, because the interiors are on back order, but they said they can still run it cause they don't wanna just hold it up, so they're gonna do the next one. But just know that the interiors will be all replaced by the time, they will eventually be replaced. So, but they said they might as well just get it up and running
Yeah.
since they gutted the whole thing and redid everything else, so.
So it's just gonna look like the elevator.
It'll look just like it did, but it will look pretty a little later.
Okay.
So on page 2, the culvert drains the apron that needs to be replaced at the end of the main parking lot, like going out as the public goes. That's repair date is August 12th. They gave us a date. We wanted to make sure like everything was done with the annex building and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and we're going to eventually seal coat the parking lot, but we wanna make sure everything's done first before we mess it all up. And then on page 3, the annex building, the railing's gonna be installed the week of the 8th. They did not have everything all at one time, so they pushed it back a week, so. And then that portion of the project will be completed,
Oh,
so
wow.
everything that we bid out will be completed. We still have other little stuff to do in there,
Looking
but
good though.
it does look really good. The stairs look really nice. Now we just, they just sanded and then painted those stairs, so they'll eventually need some
Oh.
attention later,
Yeah.
so. And that's all I have, and then I have resolutions.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Alright. The Board of Commissioners agrees to authorize the First Amendment to an agreement between Portage County and Euthenix Inc.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to authorize the First Amendment to an agreement between Portage County and Pinoni Associates.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners approves and authorizes the execution of the First Amendment to the agreement to inmate health care services with University Hospitals Health System, Inc. and UH Portage Medical Center.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an amendment number 5 with the Portage County Jobs and Family Services and Emerald Transportation to provide transportation services.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes?
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an amendment number 2 for supplemental transportation services with Portage County Jobs and Family Services and A Blessed Path, Inc., doing business as Scenic View Transportation.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Thanks,
That's it.
Shannon.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alright, go ahead and do miscellaneous.
Yep.
Alright, the Board of Commissioners signs the June 25th, 2024 correspondence to Kimberly Sherrod releasing the special haul permit and bond issued by the Federal Insurance Company under bond in the amount of $762,000. Bond is being released and returned at the request of American Transmission Systems as recommended by the Portage County Engineers Office.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the June 25th, 2024 amended Certificate of Estimated Resources for the year beginning January 1st, 2024, as submitted by the Portage County Budget Commission.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners acknowledge the receipt of the June 25th, 2024 Certificate of the County Auditor that the annual appropriations from each fund does not exceed the amended official certificates of estimated resources for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
take a recess. We can't start a public hearing
Oh,
until
so-
9:30.
Okay, and we will recess for till 9:30, 10 minutes. we will reconvene, come out of recess, and we have another public hearing.
Our tax.
Somebody tell Jackie? Okay.
I am back.
All right. We have to read this.
Okay.
First. This is for the Portage County fiscal year 25 tax budget hearing. The public hearing is being held today. The hearing is public comment regarding Portage County proposal of fiscal year 2025 tax budget. The tax budget has been on display in Portage County Commissioner's Office and the Portage County Auditor's Office for public viewing since June 17, 2024. The notice of this public hearing was published on June 13, 2024 in the Record Courier newspaper.
You know, we need to see if anyone wants to speak. We have to.
Yep, all right. Will there, anybody plans on speaking? If you could hold up your right hand. The comments you're about to say are the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth as you know it?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Jackie, you're up.
Okay, so I have a handout here. It's just a short presentation of how we came up with the resources and did the calculations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay, so this is just a synopsis of the 2025 tax budget and how the revenue amounts were estimated. So if we go to the first slide, this just sort of describes the strategy for how we came up with the estimates. Projected 2024 final revenue and expense numbers based on the first 5 months of 2024. So we figured out what January to May was, and then what an average month would be, and then projected out July to December, and that's how we got the total. And then for 2025, we conservatively estimated that based on prior year trends of budgets and actuals, and also if there's any apparent future projection, like with interest rates or things like that, and factored that in. And the county auditor's office provided the property tax estimates, so we had to go with that exact number. If we go to the next slide, this is the trend in the general fund revenue amounts. First thing I wanna note is that the 2023 actuals are quite high, but that's a bit of an outlier, because there are ARPA revenue replacement dollars in there of about 3.2 million. There are also, it's about 3.2 million in transfers that went through the general fund. So for the airport, there was also certificate of title administration funds, total of about 3.2 million that went through the general fund. So it was transferred
Like
in
a
and then
pass-through.
out.
Yeah.
Right, so it was done as a pass-through, so that's really a net zero, but it does reflect as revenue. So that's why that number's a little high compared to the other numbers. That's why it's kind of an outlier, and those things like that level of transfers and the ARPA revenue replacement won't recur in 2024 or 2025. So that's why the numbers are a bit lower than, and return kind of to normal in 24 and 25. The 24 revised budget for revenue was $56.9 million, but the projection is gonna be $59.7 million, which is about 2 3/4 million higher, but that's because of the interest rates. Interest is coming in higher than what we had budgeted, so we should be bringing in a bit more interest than what we projected. And then in 2025, even though interest will probably maintain this year into next year, it's projected to go down a bit. We've had 2 really high years, so you can kind of see where it's probably gonna peak, and then also depending on what happens in the political environment this year into next year, interest rates could lower a bit. So that's why 2025 is at 57.5 million, even though 2024 is probably gonna bring in about 59.7. It'll probably go down just a bit. So if we go to the next slide, this is where we get into the detail of the larger portions of the revenue. So this slide is for sales tax revenues. As I said, we for 2024, we took the January to May number, which was 12.3 million, and then projected out the rest of the year based on an average month. So the average month is 2 to 2.5 million. So we took that for June through December, and it came out to about 28 million, which is what we estimated. So we're leaving 2024 as 28 million. I think we'll probably bring in what we budgeted. And then for 2025, I took an average of the prior years just to kind of figure out like where likely we'll be in 2025. I think we'll stay steady at about 28 million. So that's good. I mean, it's not decreasing, but it's staying pretty
Yeah.
steady.
It's leveling out from all the high years.
And we tried to kind of remain conservative so that we have enough budget to work with, but we don't risk over projecting, because if we over project, then that can create other issues with budget. So then if we go to the next slide, this is interest revenues. This is obviously much more volatile than sales tax, and you can kind of see the dip and the peak. And as of May, we had brought in about 2.6 million, and we bring in roughly 500,000 a month. So projecting that out for June through December, it looks like we're gonna be bringing in about 6.2 million this year. We brought in about 6.3 million last year. So even though it's steady, you can kind of see where it's probably gonna start decreasing, and then the market projection is likely about 1.5% lower in 2025 than it is right now. So we did somewhere between our lows and our highs, because there's the dip and you can see the peak, and it's probably going to start lowering a bit. But again, not wanting to restrict us too much and lower the budget too much. So the budget for 2025 is estimated at 4 million. And then let's see, the next slide is property tax revenues. These are, as I said, defined by the auditor's office. They estimate that the total of all funds is $39,218,251. And then the pie here is how it breaks up among the different funds, how it's divided up. General fund is about 21% of that at 7.9 million. And then the debt fund is 3% at 1.2 million. And then those two, the general fund and the debt fund, if you combine those, that's the commissioner's portion. That's 24% of the property taxes at 9.2 million. Then the next piece is mental health, the Mental Health Board Fund 1310, and that's 20% at 7.8 million. The next portion, which is the largest portion, is Developmental Disabilities Fund 1340. That's 43% of the total at 16.9 million. And then the last part is the Child Welfare Fund 1415, which is 13% of the total at 5.2 million. And the next page just kind of delves a little bit deeper into the debt fund. So the total debt due, we consolidated all the debt in 2021, and so we're paying that down by 2030. The total due in 2025 is $1,771,800. And then as we saw on the pie on the previous page, the debt fund will cover 1.2 million of that. So then the general fund will need to cover $512,374 of that. And let's see, that covers debt. And then I just have a page of just final general notes here. I'm sure the board noticed that the projected balance at the end of 2025 is significantly in the red at this time. Now, a lot can change, obviously, by the end of 2025. Revenues can go up, expenses can go down, but there's gonna be I think a bit of work to do in the fall to balance the budget. So I just wanted to note a few additional things just to kind of show where the difference is coming from between 2024 and 2025. We've discussed with Board of Elections that they're going to need equipment somewhere around probably the turn of the year, around, the early 2025, they're gonna need new election equipment. They've estimated that at $1.5 million. They have right now in their fund 1092 set aside, they have 270,000. So the balance that the general fund would have to foot the bill for is 1,230,000. If it's truly 1.5 million that it comes out to.
Is there any signal that the state will help upgrading that equipment?
It's looking somewhat promising. Like there were some notices from the Secretary of State, I believe, earlier this week. So it's looking a little promising. There's no guarantee, but I'm hopeful.
Hopeful for what?
That they will supplement. I mean, they assisted
So-
with the
yeah.
funding.
So supplement half, a third, a quarter?
Depends.
50
I don't think
cents?
it's really
Depends.
said.
Yeah,
He
I'd
hasn't
have to
really.
look. I can look back at what was previously done, whenever it was several years ago, and
Mhm.
see what they supplemented. But
Well, we wouldn't be able to tell from our books because we paid cash for it and it was 1.5 million years ago when we redid everything. And then we got reimbursed
Reimbursement.
because a couple years later, because everyone was having a hard time, they didn't have money to replace their equipment. So then for the people that already had updated, we got reimbursed an amount. So we did get some of that back.
yes, so hopefully between what the state might supplement and the set aside, hopefully there won't be too much additional coming out of the general
Yeah.
fund. But that is right now, it's
Worst case
considered.
scenario.
Yeah, it's considered an expense right now, so that's part of what's pulling and creating that deficit. Also, the juvenile detention center costs are estimated at $3 million. The past 2 years, so 2022 and 2023, those costs were covered by ARPA. So those costs are now back in the general fund. So, you can see between the Board of Elections equipment and the juvenile detention center costs, that's a large portion of what's, creating this deficit, and we just have to figure out how to work around those costs and possibly tweak budgets, go through with departments and figure out what's actually needed in all the departments. So my team's gonna be working closely with departments to tighten the budget projections and possibly try to locate other supplemental funding if we have one-time large costs. Maybe there's some supplement somewhere that we can find that can offset that. So we're gonna be working on that, August, September. I think we're gonna start the appropriation season earlier, so we have more time,
Yeah,
to
that'd be
work
good.
with departments. There wasn't a lot of time last year, so we'd like to get into more detail
Yeah, because
this
a lot
year.
of those grants are drying up too. They're more competitive, there are more people, and they're not getting grants like they were.
Mhm. And so just the last few points here, just some other details to note if you're, as you're looking through the budget. The Board of Commissioners' salaries increased from 2024 to 2025 by about $150,000, but that's because of the Portage County Land Bank salaries. So it appears that the salaries went up, but there's actually a separate project code embedded in there where
And
the
that's a
land bank
wash pretty
salaries
much for
are,
us,
and
right?
there's revenue coming in that matches that. Also, the DBFM budget increased from 24 to 25. That's because we're changing the way we're accounting for the DBFM department. DBFM was in a separate fund before because we service the county by processing utilities.
Mhm.
We don't do that anymore, so we're moving the department directly out of the general fund now. So that's why those costs went up. Plus, DBFM is taking on all the vehicle costs. So lease payments, fuel charges, and maintenance and repairs, all those bills we'll be paying directly. Right now, we pay them and we charge back all the departments. So to clean that up, we're just putting the budget under DBFM and we're gonna pay those bills, and we're removing that from the department budget. So that's kind of a wash, so that it's not, it looks like an additional cost or like, we increased our budget, but it's really not an increase. And then, as I said, the other appropriation requests will be examined further in the fall. The goal is probably to start that process with departments in September, so they can go in and enter their requests. And then around the 1st of October, we'll close that so that DBFM can start working and just start looking down through all the budgets and see what is actually needed and, figure out what the total's gonna be. So that's the plan for now. And then the last slide is just the revenue requests at this time for the tax budget. So, general fund total revenue request is $57,584,310. Non-general funds totaled $148,044,208. So the total request is $205,628,518.
Could you give us idea when you say non-general fund, what types of funds are those?
It's anything other, so it could be, grant funds, engineers funds, JFS, enterprise funds, anything that's supplemental funding that's not our normal general
Okay,
funds.
thank you.
I understand what Commissioner Bennett said about grants drying up, because they really are. But I still want us to continue to look, seek, and attack any grants that we could possibly get, you know,
Yeah.
because I get it and I understand, but, you know, we need to stay focused and move forward with those. And I know on top of everything else, you guys are busy and I get it, but now that that's kind of on you for right now, we have to try to just keep a search out. And if we hear, we'll let you know, but
Well, I always send stuff that I get
Yeah, if
over
there's
to
anything that you see,
to
we'll
Yeah.
send it along, we'll research it.
yeah, we need to beg, borrow, and do what we gotta do.
Well, and like I said, the biggest thing is the ARPA money's drying up, and that's where you're seeing the grant, all that grant money from, so it's coming back down to, as I say, reality. And you see
Yeah.
that in our proposed
And
budget,
last year, it was
tax budget.
kind of a double help because there were some expenses we could put on there and there was, you know, revenue reimbursement, like we could reimburse ourselves, so it was helping on the revenue side and the expense side. When you take that away, it's taking away revenue and adding expense, so it's kind of a
Are
double.
we getting any more opioid funds, Sabrina?
We
do.
get those every year, and we have not been awarded any additional funds yet. They're still, for like the county's portion. As far as the One Ohio funds, we are in the process now of reviewing. We had 55 applications for Area 13.
Wow.
Yeah, and Area 13 consists of Lake, Jaga, Ashtabula, and Portage. So we've got 55, but you know, there was some other areas that got like over 200 and some. I mean, everyone's going for the opioid money. But yeah, we're gonna start the review process, and then once we get it reviewed and we score them, then we send it back to the expert panel at the state, and then they'll go through it, make recommendations, and then it goes to the actual state board of One Ohio. They're the ones that have the final say on
So a
it.
lot of reviews before it gets there.
Huh?
A lot of reviews
Sometime next year.
before it gets to,
Oh no,
The
we have a
final.
deadline that we will have them all reviewed by August 5th.
wow.
Oh no, we are like ahead of the curve. We are like the first area to aggressively move this forward.
Kind of like Area 51.
That's what I was thinking. Might be over 50.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jackie?
No, unless the board has any other questions.
Are there any public comments, questions? Nope. Hearing none, we will adjourn public hearing and reconvene the commissioners' regular meeting. Resolution.
Okay, I will,
A motion?
okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes,
Mike,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
all right.
Thanks, Jake.
Now
You're
we'll
fast.
Reconvene
reconvene.
board of regular
Yeah.
commission.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the Portage County's tax budget for fiscal year 2025.
Second?
Second, or roll call.
Do it.
Sabrina,
Yes,
Mike,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, very good information. Thank
Okay,
you.
Chris, good morning, sir.
Mr. Prosecutor?
How are you this beautiful day?
Doing good.
executive session.
Getting there. Okay, in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G3, the Board of Commissioners enter into the executive session to conferences with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject of pending court action.
Second,
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
yes.
Tony.
Yes. How are you, young man? Doing good. I still can't believe how different you look without those glasses. It just.
Did you see him without his glasses somewhere?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Roll call?
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Is there any action?
No action. Thank you, Chris.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
your time.
commissioners, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day,
Good
sir.
fourth.
You as well.
Do we have any public comment, Cassidy, yet?
No, we do not.
We will recess till 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go, I got a meeting with Vic at 11:15 to Come before the board, any public comment?
No, my camera,
Froze?
yeah. I'm still recording, so that's.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys saw the front page of the paper today about all the funds that Gail Pavligo was able to get. Did you see that?
I didn't see it today, I saw it last week.
It's on the front page of the paper, and so was a big win for Portage today.
Huge.
Yep. But I don't have anything else.
Mike, do you have anything else?
I do not, sir.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Roll call, or no, second? Second, go ahead.
She moved it.
Roll call,
Sabrina,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Mike.
Yes.
All right, have a good afternoon.
Yeah, and some of them she even got
We're-
extra money for.
We're meeting next Thursday, correct?
Yep, next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
And I will be
July.
gone.
Yeah, too, there, is that your
Where are you
anniversary
going?
vacation? That's
Yes.
your- Okay, cool.
We rented a big 8-bedroom house up in Wisconsin,
We know where in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Like Geneva?
like right at the tip of Michigan.
Yeah, okay.
Because that way, my brother, who his wife has ALS. can-
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. You were telling us
Yeah.
that.
And
That'd be great.